This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and maybe about 15 others.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put it into perspective of the type of company I was in.
I heard that there's supposed to be some tapes or something that's coming out real soon, and I guess we'll all really know the truth if anything's on those.
This was the beginning of 2020, you know what I mean? And Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put him out, but he had took a liking of me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean? Like putting his arm around me, right? So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. MHM, me, and, maybe about 15 others, Jay-Z and Beyonce being, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in. I heard that there's supposed to be some tapes or something that's coming out real soon. And I guess we'll all really know the truth if anything's on those tapes. Hold up. Just when you thought the Diddy drama was the peak of hip-hop chaos, DaBaby just dropped a bomb that's turning heads everywhere. In a wild turn of events, DaBaby is now pointing fingers at none other than Jay-Z, claiming that Hop might be even worse than Diddy behind the scenes. Yeah, you read that right. With the industry already in flames over the serious allegations surrounding Diddy, DaBaby's bold claims about Jay-Z are adding gas to the fire, and fans are shook. From shady deals to behind closed-doors behavior and how he treats his own wife, DaBaby isn't holding back. And what he's saying could change how people view one of the most powerful men in music. So what did DaBaby really say? And could there be truth to it? Let's break it down, because this just took the industry drama to a whole new level. Just when we thought the truth bombs couldn't get any heavier in the music industry, DaBaby has stepped into the ring, and he's not holding back. With all eyes already on Sean Diddy Combs and the disturbing allegations of exploitation, trafficking, and manipulation coming to light, DaBaby is now shifting the spotlight onto Jay-Z. And what he's suggesting, it's even darker. Now listen, DaBaby isn't new to the game. He spent years navigating the music industry from the inside out. He's been in the rooms, had the conversations, done the deals, and seen firsthand how things really work behind the polished public image. According to him, what the world is just now finding out about Diddy. He's been watching that play out for years. From how Diddy exploited young artists to how power is weaponized in the business, DaBaby's been clocking it all. He's seen the manipulation, the control, the lies, and he's been hinting that he's had enough. But now he's taking it a step further. With Diddy's name already dragged through the mud, DaBaby is turning his attention to Jay-Z, and he's coming with heavy accusations. Word is DaBaby's not just speculating. He's heard things, he's seen things, and he's ready to talk. And if what he's alluding to is true, Jay-Z may be hiding behind a much cleaner image than he deserves. Now, this is not all hearsay. DaBaby himself has talked in detail about how he has been there himself in instances where Jay tried to pimp his wife. We've all heard the whispers about Diddy's infamous late-night parties, the ones draped in glitz, glamour, and a heavy dose of secrecy. But now, DaBaby is breaking the silence with explosive claims that pull back the velvet curtain on what really went down behind those mansion doors. And let's just say, it's not the kind of Hollywood glamour people expect. This is dark, messy, and way deeper than we thought. In a recent interview, DaBaby opened up nervously, carefully, but unmistakably about a wild night at Diddy's mansion in 2020. The way he told it, you could tell there was more he wanted to say, but couldn't quite bring himself to. Still, what he did reveal was enough to leave fans and industry insiders shook. That night, DaBaby says the party was star-studded, filled with names like Beyonce, Jay-Z, and others you'd expect to see rubbing shoulders in the halls of music royalty. At first, it all seemed typical luxury, champagne flowing, beautiful people, music, your usual high-end industry gathering. But then the energy shifted as the night wore on and the casual party guests started leaving. The vibe reportedly got strange. The crowd got thinner. The rooms got quieter, and DaBaby hinted that what happened after hours wasn't for everyone. He described an eerie tension, like something unspoken was happening just out of view. He didn't outright say it, but the message was clear. He saw things Diddy wouldn't want the world to know. And here's the kicker. DaBaby all but confirmed he was being prepped for the type of after-party many now refer to as Diddy's freak-offs. Those secret gatherings were allegedly filled with select artists, odd requests, and deeply questionable behavior. What makes this even more chilling is DaBaby's body language during the interview. He looked uncomfortable, guarded, even scared. Not the same bold, brash rapper we're used to. It was like the memories alone had power over him, and that says a lot. Was he a willing participant, a bystander, a victim of the twisted games that may have unfolded at these elite gatherings? He didn't say outright, but he said enough. And now, with more survivors stepping forward and the walls closing in around Diddy, DaBaby's testimony might just be one of the most crucial puzzle pieces yet. This isn't just about celebrity gossip anymore. This is about truth, power, and a culture of silence that's finally starting to crack. So, what exactly happened that left DaBaby visibly shaken, stumbling over his words, and clearly uncomfortable when recalling that infamous night at one of Diddy's ultra-private freak-off parties? DaBaby didn't lay out every grim detail, but he gave just enough for people to connect the dots. According to him, the night started off smooth, just another star-studded bash at Diddy's lavish mansion. The kind of party where A-listers like Beyoncé and Jay-Z casually float from room to room like royalty. The vibe glitzy, exclusive, high status. But what happened as the night progressed was something way darker than champagne and selfies. DaBaby says the crowd eventually started thinning out. At a certain point, Diddy made sure everyone else was gone except for a few select people. That's when the energy shifted. The music got lower, the lights dimmer, and Puff got real close. Too close. He had took a liking to me in particular around that time, putting his arm around me. He had put everybody else out the crib. Like the influx of people he had put him out, but he had took a liking to me in particular around time, man. It was really, you know what I mean? Like putting his arm around me. DaBaby said it like he didn't even want to be repeating it. You could hear the tension in his voice. The way someone talks when they're tiptoeing around trauma, afraid to fully unpack it on camera. And that right there, that was the red flag. Diddy wasn't just hosting a party. He was allegedly testing boundaries. DaBaby didn't use words like assault or coercion, but the implication was loud and clear. And what makes it even more disturbing, the fact that Jay-Z and Beyoncé were there. Now look, Jay-Z has always had a reputation as a calculating power player in the music industry. That's no secret. But in recent years, more people have started to question just how much influence and control he's had, not just over young artists, but even over his own wife. Beyoncé is undoubtedly a queen in her own right, a megastar who redefined the industry. But people are starting to wonder how much of her image, brand, and even public decisions have been filtered through Jay-Z's lens. Let's not forget Jay-Z is older than Beyoncé, and when they first connected, she was barely an adult, still finding her voice. He was already a kingmaker in the business. That power imbalance raises serious questions now, especially with stories like DaBaby's floating to the surface. So imagine a baby still rising, still figuring it all out, finding himself alone at Diddy's house with one of the most powerful men in music wrapping his arm around him, while another power couple, Jay-Z and Beyoncé, look on from the sidelines. That's not just uncomfortable, that's terrifying. Was it silent complicity, willful ignorance? Were they part of something bigger? DaBaby story is just one piece of a puzzle that's starting to come together, and the picture isn't pretty. It's not just about one bad night. It's about a culture of control, exploitation, and silence that's been protected for far too long by wealth, fame, and fear. And if even DaBaby, a man known for his tough exterior and bold personality, was as shook by what went down, it makes you wonder how many others were there and just never said a word and fans can see it from a mile away. One person said, Bay and Jay have never ever gave me in love. No kind of attraction to each other. No affection, no hugs, no nothing. They never even acted like a couple. He has always acted like he's just in charge, and that's it in my opinion. Another wrote, now with Solange going crazy on Jay-Z makes sense. Is he a part of the Diddy club? If he put his hands on Beyonce, he's going down. From shady deals with young artists to alleged manipulation and backroom plays that never made headlines. DaBaby is suggesting that Hobbs' hands might not be as clean as fans think. And coming from someone who's had a front row seat to how this industry really works, his words are hitting different. This was the beginning of 2020, you know what I mean? And Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put him out, but he had took a liking to me in particular on the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean? Like putting his arm around me, right? So he had put majority of the people,